You have to move on. It is that simple that in reality a lot of us don't really get, because everyone, I feel like most people struggle with that, with moving on with relationships. It's hard. You had an emotional connection with that person. Sometimes people can't even move on from people they never even dated, just in a situationship, which is very unfortunate, but it is something that we deal with. And a lot of us can't move on because we're stuck and attached to a person in our past, which is extremely detrimental. Because I understand how you're feeling. Obviously I felt that with my ex, and obviously it's gonna hurt. There's no stopping. That's gonna hurt. You were very close to this person, or at least I hope you were, where you can actually build in an emotional deep connection with that person. And if you did, and now that person left, you guys just mutually broke up, then yeah, that's gonna hurt, alright? And to move on really is just to figure shit out, really. Because moving on is, I won't lie, moving on is really just as hard as you make it be. Because moving on can be very easy if you make it hard, where you're constantly checking their social media, or just constantly thinking and wondering about your ex and what they're doing, what they're thinking, but yada yada yada. And in reality, you're just, at one point you're gonna have to realize that, if not realize with this right now, that it doesn't matter, it really does not matter. You can watch as many get your ex back videos, no contact videos, all of that, but that won't change the fact that that person still left you. That person just took you for granted and dropped you without hesitation. Yeah, you can, which sometimes is actually, most of the time it's actually your fault, and you don't realize it. Yeah, they had their faults, obviously. That person obviously had their faults, you had your faults, but sometimes you have to take accountability, because sometimes it genuinely does play with you, where you were acting like, maybe too clingy, you were too insecure, and sometimes that's generally your fault. Sometimes the person is at fault, but whatever the case is, you still have to just carry on and move on with your life. And moving on is basically just focusing on yourself to the absolute degree. Like, just start working yourself, start meditating, start reading books, start working out more, start doing new hobbies or passions. And it's really that simple. And obviously it's scary to move on, because a part of you doesn't really want to. A part of you wants to stay stuck and just have this fantasy, we're gonna get back with this person. Because it fills your brain with dopamine, pretty much, where it's like an addiction, where it feels amazing to just think about this person, which obviously you should realize that that person is gone forever, and if they do come back, it's not for the right reasons most of the time. And even if they do come back, you should have some self-discipline and realize that things didn't work out for a reason. That's okay. You will find someone better, you will find someone else, but it all depends on you. Because if you don't work on yourself through that breakup, if you don't do anything really, if you just sit there and stay stuck on your ex, when a better person or a better situation comes into your life, you're not gonna go and get it. Or if you do get it, you're gonna be very depressed and feel bad about yourself, because you're still stuck on that ex, and you're just gonna feel horrible. We're stuck on that one person that you never even dated. It was just a situationship. And it's sad that it's beautiful at the same time, even though it's sad that we can't move on, because it shows that we love people too much, and that's okay. Because in general, it's okay to love people. It doesn't matter, and don't really let anyone beat you down. Just because this thing didn't work out doesn't mean the next one will. Yeah, you're gonna have your doubts, you're gonna be fearful. Obviously everyone is. I have my fears with the current situation I'm in right now, but in general, you're gonna have to keep it pushing and really stop. Obviously you're not gonna stop being afraid. That will happen eventually, maybe. And if you don't, you're just gonna have to keep going through the insecurities and fears. You're gonna have to face them one way or another with the next person. And you are gonna find something better, and if not right now, if you found something and it wasn't better, then something better is coming your way. You should know that. But to attract that, you have to work on yourself and become the best version of yourself. And doing that is actually very simple. It's just a matter of consistency and discipline. And if you do those things, if you put the good habits, put the good work in, which I believe that you do attract things into your life the way you are. Because every single woman that I've been with or got to know that we were interested in being in a relationship, even if it didn't work out, I noticed that they have the same values, core beliefs, just basically act and feel the same as, like, they act the same as me, which just comes to show that I'm sure you had that. I'm sure one of your, at least your ex, or at least, one of your exes, maybe, that they were very similar to you, and I feel like you attract that into your life. You attract what you are into your life. If you're a loser and just don't do anything with your life, then yeah, you're not gonna attract anything much value into your life. But if you're a person that puts the work in, is kind to others, is a good person, and just generally just be themselves, you're gonna get good things in your life. Maybe not now, but eventually they will come. It takes time and it takes effort too. You have to put the work in, obviously. But in general, moving on is just as simple as loving yourself instead of loving that person. Instead of putting the time and effort and just thinking about that person still, you put the time and effort thinking about yourself and putting in the work to better yourself. And yeah, that person can come back, I won't lie to you, but you shouldn't rely on that, because 99%, because yeah, exes do come back sometimes, but even if they do, you can read as many percentages as 70% of exes come back or whatever, or something like that, and you can believe that, but in reality it's just gonna be detrimental, because you're gonna be sitting there waiting for someone who left you, really, and they most likely they've been in other relationships by the time they get back to you, so you're letting them coming back into your life that they did whatever with this other person, and basically after they did whatever to you, they most likely did some stuff to you that definitely earned that breakup. And unless it's been like a good while, like a couple months, or at least even a year or two, then you shouldn't get back with this person, obviously. But in general, to move on is just to move on to you, just work on yourself. And it will take time, obviously. I know that everyone tells you this, and it's corny, that time does heal, and it really does. Time really does heal. Over time, you stop thinking about them less. Over time, you stop, just stop caring too much. And it's really as simple as just over time, you stop caring about that person. You stop, and you just move on with your life. And I suggest, if you do want to do this as fast as humanly possible, you cut off all contact instantly with that person, and not in a way of being manipulative and trying to get them back, but in a way of just trying to just take a break from seeing that person. Just stop seeing them, stop checking their social media, stop having to do anything with them, and eventually you'll be by yourself. And you have to be in a season of isolation for a while. For how long it takes, a couple months, a couple years, just be by yourself for a good time. Figure out who you are, figure out what you want to do, figure out whatever, and just keep working on yourself, and just keep being by yourself, and just figure out who you are before you date someone. Because you have to obviously be love yourself and do all these things, but at the same time you can't be completely fulfilled by yourself. I feel that, because no matter how much self-improvement, how much self-love you have, it won't be completely full without someone else bringing that in, because as human beings we need other people. And sometimes it's actually good to meet people even when you're healing. If you've done a decent amount of healing, yes, you can be in a relationship, which I think you should take things slow, obviously, to see what happens with them, but you should take your time and see how things end. And if things do end, then obviously there's more to come, because it's not the end. Whatever you're looking for, it will come, but yeah, it will only come if you put the effort in. If you actually sit there, put that effort in, then that person will come. But you have to chase your purpose. You have to follow these good habits. You have to work on yourself to be ready when that person comes and attract that person. And if you're doing these habits already, if you're already putting the work in, then I'm telling you that person is coming slowly, but they're getting there. You just have to keep pushing and have your belief, even when you get lonely, even when you lose belief, even when you have doubt. That's obviously gonna happen, don't get me wrong. Even when you feel bad, you're gonna but the one thing that you're gonna have to do is keep it pushing, no matter how bad it gets, no matter how bad you feel, how much you wanna just get back with your ex. You're gonna have to keep it pushing. Eventually, when you come out, you'll be better than ever before, and you'll be happy again. You'll smile more. You'll barely think of your ex, and you'll be glad that it happened. You'll be just be grateful that you had to experience those moments with that person and be so close to him. But you're also grateful that you got taught a lesson, and you accept the way things ended and the way things happened, and you just accept that everything happened, and you can actually smile about it. You just don't care anymore, and you moved on with your life, and you're happy, and you will be happier than ever. But that's about it. See ya.